The Framingham Heart Study is pretty much the classic example of a long-term cohort study. It's an ongoing assessment of risk factors associated with diseases of the heart. Back in 1948, they enrolled 5,209 men and women who lived in Framingham, Massachusetts between the age of 30 and 62. And they've returned every 2 years for a physical, history, and lab tests. It was in the 60s that they found that smoking increases the risk of heart disease. They also found that high cholesterol and high blood pressure increase the risk of heart disease, and that physical activity reduces the risk. Then in 1971, they started an offspring study. It included 5,124 of the offspring and spouses of the people in the original cohort. And in the 70s, they found that increased blood pressure increases the risk of a stroke, and that postmenopausal women are at higher risk of heart disease. And in 1994, they started a new cohort with 506 people to represent a more diverse Framingham, and to study the effects of race and heritage on heart health. And in 2002, a third generational cohort was started with the offspring of the offspring cohort and the grandchildren of the original cohort. And in 2003, the second generation of the more diverse Omni cohort was started. Over 3,000 peer-reviewed papers have been published on the Framingham Heart Study data, and some of them are big fucking deals. And in the 90s, they published the Framingham Risk Score Assessment. It can predict the 10-year risk of future coronary heart disease events. And you can take it yourself on the internet. So much of what we take for granted about heart health comes directly from the study. And they've done so many more things too, it's crazy.